So you would say that organic gardening is relatively inexpensive.
The cost is negligible, really. For instance, I don't keep track of exactly how much I spend, but it's somewhere between.
Like every man with a hobby.
Yeah, exactly. It's not more than $300 to $500 over a year. Putting that into perspective, though, if I consider the value of just my tomato bed is 80 square feet.
Okay.
It's about 3 feet wide, 3.5 feet wide, and a little over 20 feet long. I never plant but 7 tomatoes in it. I have big cages that are 6.5 feet high.
7 tomatoes?
7 tomato plants, yeah.
Yes,
they
that's
start from
right.
there.
And it starts from this big?
Yeah, and they have grown all the way over that and down to the concrete again. I've had them, would have been 15 feet from the ground to the end of the tomato plant.
And they all bear fruit?
Oh, yeah. So we got 840 pounds of good usable tomatoes from 7 plants from 80 square feet. You know, a very small bedroom is 150 square feet.
Wow.
So it gives you an idea. Well, if the value of organic, what do they call it, heirloom tomatoes,
right,
at a store is $5 a pound, my crop was worth $4,000, and that's just about a fifth or a sixth of my total garden space.
Wow.
'Cause I also grow eggplants and cucumbers and beans.
When you grow the other vegetables, do you do it with the same way you grow tomatoes, with the same proportion of soil to whatever amendments and?
Exactly. I treat all of my beds exactly the same because I'm not, I never feed the plants. I feed the soil. And, you know, the chemical fertilizers you see or whatever the seed packets all say, feed monthly or feed bi-weekly. Well, if your soil is good and rich and you've taken care of your soil, you don't need to do that. The nutrients are there, and the earthworms that are continually cultivating your ground,
right,
they're giving you back more fertilizer than you're going to add.
Right.
Use a pound of chemical fertilizers, you're going to drive away the worms that would have made 5 pounds of worm manure. The best castings are worm castings, and that's the best manure money could buy.
Wow.
So you're driving that away for what? You see?
I don't know. But, you know, when I was young and we were gardening in our little gardens in the backyard, we were told, you know, get rid of those bugs. They only will harm the plants, and they'll eat them, and they'll eat the tomatoes and whatever you got back there. And now you made friends of those earthworms and so forth.
Exactly. You know, there are any number of kinds of insects and bugs and whatever. And a lot of people tend to indiscriminately just kill them. Well, you've got to realize that just like most bacteria are helpful and friendly and innocuous and,
right,
and are better for us than not having them, insects are the same.
Now,
we've got very few insects that are actually harmful to our plants and vegetables.
right, mostly to people.
Yeah.